Hello and welcome to GNO, that's Gaia Night Online, and this is where we come together to pull cards for the week ahead. And you are welcome to join us if you'd love to come pull cards with us. All you need is a Gmail email address and a webcam, and you can click the link on our Gaia Blooming Facebook page. Or you can come join us afterwards and have a card pulled for you if you don't want to pull cards, and that is off air. And I think we'll get started. I liked this week. I liked the Astro this week. There's nothing like, I don't know, there's no major shifts besides the moon shifting, but we do have the Sun conjunct Neptune this week, and I really do love that connection. But we'll get to it. First, we have to do the moon moving into Gemini. And so that's happening tomorrow. Where's my calendar? Yeah, that's happening tomorrow night. And for that, I pulled the very appropriate card, Slowing Down. I really like this card for Moon in Gemini because Moon in Gemini can be very like my brain is going a million miles per hour. My brain goes a million miles per hour when Moon is in Gemini. So it's a reminder, like, tune in, especially during Pisces time. Tune in, breathe, ground. You know, so that your mind doesn't, I don't know, the mind can take you places that you want to go, it can take you places you don't want to go. And I think this week, the theme in my Astro is being mindful because, you know, Neptune meeting up with the Sun is a great opportunity to connect with Spirit and have some wishes come true. But if your mind is racing about all the reasons why it can't come true, then you're building a mountain. And from the Angel Dreams Oracle deck, I pulled Purple, Third Eye Clairvoyant. So, telling you, tune into that because that's very available. I mean, Sun is in Pisces, Neptune's in Pisces, Chiron's in Pisces. Is there anything else in Pisces? I think that's it. Mercury's heading to Pisces. So. Yeah, Mercury's headed towards Pisces. So, you know, tune in. Your body has things to tell you. Your higher self has things to tell you. Katie?
So I pulled kind of a downer card, the Tower, but I think this is just referencing all the turmoil that can happen when your mind is going a million miles a minute. And there might be a little bit of breakdown, but that's okay. You know, things sometimes have to break down so you can realize old patterns. I know that Mimi and I have been going through old patterns with the class we've been taking, so you know, we know that it's worth it, even though it can be scary. And then with it, I pulled Wolf Instinct. So I think that really goes with the third eye chakra card. You know, if you are experiencing a little bit of chaos, just tune into that higher self, that quiet voice, and understand how to get out of that chaos pattern for you and be more mindful.
Great advice. Love it. All right, so then the next card is for the Sun conjunct Neptune. And I want to mention that I think this is super cool because this is happening at 7 degrees. And 7 is that Neptune Pisces degree. So it's not just like that the Sun is in Pisces connecting to Neptune. The Sun is in Pisces connecting to Neptune at 7. So it's like, ooh, Spirit. And I love this card that I pulled. I pulled the Ripeness card, and I decided to look it up just because I was like, I want to see what Osho's wisdom is in here. And I like his exact words, and I really like what he says, is when the fruit is ripe, it drops from the tree by itself. One moment it hangs by a thread from the branches of the tree, bursting with juice. The next moment it falls, not because it's been forced to fall, or has made the effort to jump, but because the tree has recognized its ripeness and simply let it go. And when this card appears, you're in a reading, it indicates you're ready to share your inner riches, your juice. All you need to do is relax right where you are and be willing for it to happen. The sharing of yourself, the expression of your creativity can come in many ways. No special preparation or effort on your part is required. It's simply the right time. And so I really like that with this combination of Neptune and the Sun. It's simply the right time. So let your wishes come out, and then, you know, like tree growing on a, or fruit growing on a tree, trees growing on a fruit. Like that, allow it to come about. You know, our wishes sometimes are granted, like, yes, your wish is granted. And sometimes it takes a while, but allow nature's process. But tune into those wishes. And then from Angel Dreams, I pulled water, emotions, initiation, and rejuvenation. And I think when we make wishes and all that, I think a lot of emotions will come up, like, I can have that, I can have that. I had that just come up for me huge this week. And, you know, if you can work with your emotions, be present for those ones that are like, I can't have it, and work through them and shift it into, wow, the universe can do things that I can't even fathom. It's amazing how things can shift. And we have Drew here. Hi, Drew.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's good to see you.
I'm good. It's good to be back.
Yay! We're pulling cards for the Sun conjunct Neptune on Wednesday.
All right, well.
I can go first. Oh, please.
No, you go ahead, Katie, because what I pulled was like, what?
So I pulled the Knight of Swords, which seems a little bit aggressive, but I feel like it kind of goes with what Mimi was saying about the ripeness. Like, if it's ready, it's just going to happen fast. So if you're ready, something might come through for you that just hits you, and it's just there, and then you have your life changes in that moment. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting for that, and that might not apply to everybody, but like Mimi was saying, it just happens when it happens. You don't have to push for it or anything. And I also pulled, this popped out again, Wolf Instinct. So I think that's referencing all the Pisces energy again. Just really tune into that voice that's inside you, and it'll lead the way. And then I also pulled Love Compassion, which I think is just always good to remember, and to have compassion for yourself. If any emotions do come up, just love yourself, and be gentle, and things will go how they're supposed to.
I love that.
Nice. Well, I pulled the Knight of Earth, which looks like, what? When you're thinking Sun conjunct Neptune, you're thinking, oh, I need a big water card. But it says loyal, dedicated, honorable, kind, time to buckle down and get things done, which I don't know about anybody else, but I'm really feeling that energy. But I was attributing it more to Mars and Aries than it was Neptune and Sun conjunct. But honoring your commitments and a guardian angel. So I went for another card and two of water, which seems to make much more sense to me. I don't know if you can see it with the glare. But a relationship that continues to grow deeper, forgiveness, a positive resolution to a conflict. Been working on the forgiveness stuff for me big lately, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love
that's
that.
what I've got.
It's a good combination. I like the Knight of Earth because to me that's almost like a card too of like manifestation, which
right.
Moon conjunct Neptune, making a wish. We often want it to manifest, so.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm down.
Why not? All right. So then the moon will shift into Cancer on Friday. And the card I pulled for this is a little bit interesting. I think maybe because it brings a lot of water energy. The moon in Cancer does make some interesting connections with Pluto and Uranus. I pulled the card Intensity. And so this card, it's kind of hard to see with the glare, but it's basically an arrow, and it's like the energy is like heating up, firing up, moving forward. And emotional energy can feel very intense. And the moon in Cancer always brings up emotions no matter what. And then connecting to Sun in Pisces can definitely stir up some things under the surface. So just be prepared to be present with yourself. And if it feels intense, go with it. Tune into it. You don't. Pisces, the energy of Pisces can tend to want to avoid things. And so I think this card is saying, hey, don't avoid the stuff that's getting stirred up. Be willing to be with it and see where it takes you. Walking through the process is amazing. Aww. And I pulled one of my favorites. I'll get my little selenite wand right here. I pulled selenite from Angel Dreams, and it says spiritual activation and stimulation. Personally, I like to work with selenite, actually to help me through past life stuff. Selenite helps me through a lot of past life stuff and helps me really, selenite's really great for the third eye. I like to make myself a selenite unicorn, so, because I'm 5 years
That's awesome.
so I'll be sitting around doing this at my house, but it works, it does things, you can feel
Yeah.
it doing some things, so. Get selenite out and practice some spiritual activation with it and see what it does for you.
Cool. Go ahead, Katie.
I didn't hear the aspect. What was it?
Oh, moon into Cancer.
Oh, okay. Well, I pulled the Fool, which I'm not sure what's coming up for that with Moon and Cancer. And then I also pulled Lightning and Power.
Wow.
So I'm not really sure what that has to do in Cancer.
Foolish
either.
power, yeah. Right.
That may be like power of emotion and like really digging into it, because his emotion, even though it's water, it can be electrifying too, to really dig into it.
And the moon will be connecting to Uranus at some point, during its trek through there. So there's that lightning. And as for the Fool, any time's a good time for a new start. Maybe this is like a new start with your process with your emotions and honoring them.
Oh yeah, maybe.
There you go. I pulled the Seven of Air. Oh, that's hard to see, that glare. Plans that need revision. More. Sorry, I can't read. More going on that meets the eye. Poor timing. I'm getting, though, that at this point in the moon cycle that the plans need revising. You've planted your seeds and maybe some things have sprouted up that you're not sure, or they're not 100% what you wanted, and so then you're going and refine what you asked for, what you planted. That's what I'm getting.
Cool. Yes. Moon and Cancer, good time to do some revision. Or even in your home, like some things around the home isn't not being like what you want.
Right.
Moon and Cancer is a great time to shift that. I was doing that today on my desk. I cleaned my desk. That's always amazing, because there's just crystals and statues and pieces of paper with astro on it all over the place, and now it's it's still a little chaotic. It's more chaotic than I'd want, but I can see my cactus. My cactus isn't covered. It's amazing. All right. So the next is the moon into Leo, one of my favorites, and that's on the first day of March. We're moving into March. Oh my gosh, so crazy. So crazy. So for that, I pulled the card from not Rumi, Osho, Sharing. I love this. I think this card is so Leo. This is like a queen. I think it's the Queen of Fire, actually. It is the Queen of Fire. This is the Queen of Fire, and she's so abundant. She's able to share. And I think that's great with the time of Leo. It doesn't necessarily need to be material goods. During the time of Leo, if you just even remember to share your love by letting it bubble up in you and sharing a smile with somebody, or just talking with somebody if you feel called to do that. Even that is sharing. So I think just whatever comes from your heart, tune into that and be willing to go with that energy. It reminds me of the spiritual law of the day, the law of giving and receiving. Om Varanam Namah, which is I nourish the universe and the universe nourishes me. And Deepak Chopra's advice with that is, hey, you're always giving and receiving, even when you're walking down the street to strangers. So be willing to give a little smile, or even if you can't even give a smile, send a little blessing. So I think that's the sharing card, and let's see what the angel dreams have to say. I pull this card a lot, and I'm like, what? I pulled school lessons. Lessons, but maybe this is the universe saying, hey, we're in university. There's some lessons for you. Maybe there's some lessons around sharing. So tune into how sharing feels for you, and if it feels good, or if you're like, I have nothing to give, and it's from that place.
All right. So I pulled the Ace of Pentacles, which I really feel has to do with abundance and moving into Moon in Leo, like abundance of the heart more than financially. Like Mimi was saying, take time to give back to people, even if you don't have a lot to give. It always helps your self-worth and the self-worth of others. It could be like a simple note to somebody telling them why you appreciate them. But I really feel like that's important with that transit. And then I pulled Waterfall Effortless. So I feel like the emotions are going to move more fluidly in Moon in Leo, which makes sense because Leos have big hearts. And then I was like, what's effortless? And it said movement. So,
I love it.
yeah. Thanks.
All right.
Yes, Captain Obvious.
I pulled 9 of water, actually. And it says, your wishes come true, concerns fade away, a love of life. And we always know that the Leo moon, connects into your inner child, your little heart, your little kid heart. And I think it's just time to go out there and have a little fun. For most of us, spring probably isn't even close, but it might be fun to go out and make like a snow angel or go play in the snow, maybe. I don't know.
You haven't had enough of that yet. Go ahead. Or maybe drink hot chocolate while you look at the snow.
There you go. No, go play in the snow and then have the hot chocolate. That's the whole reward, right? Okay. But it could be just 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be 10 or 20 or 30. It's fine.
Fun. Cute. So, I thought we would pull a card for March.
Sure.
March. So crazy. So, March happens on Sunday with that Leo moon in Leo. And I pulled the card for March, going with the flow. Which I love, because March is dominated by Pisces. You know, Pisces is all the way through March 20th. So almost, 3 weeks of March is Pisces energy. So, Pisces energy is that energy of going with the flow. And that flow will flow you right into that fiery energy of Aries that is coming up. But enjoy this while it's happening and be in it and be in the emotions and be in the movement and, all of that comes up for you with Pisces. Such a fun, interesting time. And then from here, I pulled travel. So maybe travel is part of your going with the flow. Maybe it's time. You know what I love, what actually makes me think of with travel is Tosha Silver. She likes to have dates with the divine. And she'll be like, all right, where are we going? And she'll just travel around her town or go like an hour away or wherever. And she just lets herself be led. And that just sounds so incredible to me. I love days like that. So maybe that's your travel. Or maybe you get to do something even more.
Awesome.
So I pulled the 5 of Cups, which is kind of a bummer card. But, well, it's a bummer if you don't pay attention to the worth that's behind you. You're like focusing too much on the stuff that's spilled instead of what you have. So maybe regrouping and really looking at where your abundance lies and what's really important in your life rather than what society might make you think is important. And I also pulled strength. So just really remember to tap into that inner strength and inner energy and just really rely on it. I know I've been working on that, but trust is really important, and it'll get you through whatever may come up with the 5 of Cups. And then to top it all off, I got Wolf Instinct again. So.
Wow, Wolf, like with us. That's
so, yeah, either that's just because that's really connected to me, or it's really connected to everybody out there, and just really trust your instincts this month.
Instincts.
I love that. I think, is that the 3rd time you've gotten Wolf?
Yeah.
Love that. I love when cards keep popping like that.
And I pulled the 8 of water. And it says a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. So March, I mean, typically it's what, come in as a lamb, leave as a lion, right? Is that the story? That's what came up for me on the strength card that she pulled. But March is always, springtime. We're getting closer, even though most of the country is still buried in snow. But there's still the hope that things will grow and life will come back around. So that's what I'm getting from this, is the hope of the future.
It's happening, people. I am growing dandelions on my front lawn as we speak.
I have them.
I heard somewhere, though, actually, that in cold places, especially, but anywhere that, places that aren't flowering year-round, that dandelions are some of the first things that the bees and hummingbirds, if you have them, butterflies and birds can, get the nectar from. So they're actually a really important flower.
Yes, they are.
I love them. I'm passionate love for dandelions.
I mean, you get to blow the thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I blow my wishes all the time.
Yeah.
Do you remember the cartoon Bloom County? Did you ever see that one? Mm-hmm. It was Berkeley Breathed back in the 80s. It was this fabulous cartoon, and the main character was Opus, a penguin. And he always had a dandelion break. And so he would just go to this big field and run through the dandelions. And every time I see that, I think of you, Mimi.
I'll have to find that, because that sounds ridiculous and cute.
Yes, it is.
So I decided I wanted to pull one last card for the week ahead. I pulled from the Angel Dreams deck. And for this week ahead, I pulled Amethyst. Psychic abilities and behavior patterns. You know what I know about behavior patterns with Amethyst is that if you are trying to break an addiction, Amethyst is an amazing helper with that. So, if there's something, whether it's a person or a habit or a beverage or, whatever, call in some Amethyst into your life. And also, tune into your psychic abilities. I think in breaking habits and stuff, it's always good to, tune in your higher self. Why am I doing this? And the reason may or may not make sense to you, but I would honor it, because sometimes reason, even if it's not reasonable, is just on it. It knows.
Yeah, Nikki said to me today, 80% of our recovery is awareness. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about patterns and stuff like that, too.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, here's my little amethyst right here. I usually put it on my... I have a gigantic one of these, but this is my little one. I also make myself a unicorn with this. I just sit around being a unicorn all the time.
That's awesome.
So oh, man.
You guys want to pull any final cards for the week, or?
Oh.
You don't have to. You can.
I pulled the Knight of Water. Oh, sorry. I jumped.
No, go ahead.
Oh.
The Knight of Water. Falling in love or wedding proposals.
Ooh.
The need to balance emotions, probably. An invitation to a social event. So I think it's with the sun moving further into Pisces that the balancing of the emotions is probably much needed for everybody, because we're probably going to be overly emotional, I think. At least I know I am.
Totally.
I pulled Desert Vision Quest, so really spend some time alone with yourself this week, I think, and connect into that instinct and just go for it. You know what's right for you.
Howl like a wolf in the desert. I mean, we're building, speaking of wolf, we're building to a full moon in, next Thursday. So, that tunes into the wolf a little bit too. All right, so that's it. I just wanted to say thank you. So many people, some that I know and some that I don't know, some that are sitting right here, have been giving into my GoFundMe account, and I'm so, so grateful. And I've been able to say thank you to the people that I do know, but I haven't been able to say thank you to the people that I don't know. And I'm so touched that people that I don't know are supporting me. So thank you. I appreciate
You're
it,
welcome.
and I look forward to bringing all this cool stuff to Gaia Blooming.
Awesome. Always happy to help, Mimi.
Yay! All right, well, we will see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Namaste.
Namaste.